What's going on YouTube? Heylow here, bringing you another Total War Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So today we are going to be in ladder, rocking some Vampire Coast versus High Elves. So I'm going to have two matches for you today. They're both fairly short, but they both feature Cylostra and the same build, and the Vangheist Revenge plays a huge part in these matches. So let's dive in. So, Frontline, just going to be some Pirate Deckhand mob, the regular dual sword infantry ones. We got 3 of them. They're going to be supported by 3 deckhand mob with pole arms, 2 units of sirens, 2 units of gunnery mob, the pistol kind, 2 units of Moringols, and then we have 3 units of fellbats spread out. Cylostra on her crab in the center, Queen Bess out on the flank, utilizing this nice natural terrain blocker that we have on our deployment here. Alright. So then, for the High Elves, we have a front line of White Lions supported by Spearmen on the flanks, some Spears in the back to support the Lothern Sea Guard with shields and the Archers with light armor, Dragon Princes, Fireborn, Allariel on her Eagle, and then way out in the corner over here we have 1 unit of Illyrian Reavers. Alright, so that is that. So, for this build, relying on Cylostra to do her crab summon, and then we also have only one other spell, and it is the Vangheist Revenge. 16 cost, but extremely powerful and really good for deleting like high value units like these White Lions or maybe Dragon Princes if we can get a good shot on them, things like that. So right off the bat, we are going to be dropping some rounds in with the Queen Bess. Oh my, here we go. Ooh. This right here is why you don't want to double up your units, and you want to make sure you're not blobbed up at all, because the Archers and the White Lions have already taken pretty substantial damage, losing some models on the Archers, 1 on the Lions, but not ideal. Managed just to get out of the way of that one. But yeah, for my opponent, Dragon Princes, trying to get around to the flanks. Gonna keep some deckhand mob on our artillery and start just kind of screening up our very like deep formation here. So we've got our archers up front so that they can't get in range to just start sniping out our artillery. Our fellbats are pulling back so they don't get shot up too much. They're going to help screen out Allariel, probably go in after some archers when they have an opportunity, maybe stop a Dragon Prince charge. My opponent bringing in his Illyrian Reavers as well, trying to wrap around this right flank to sneak by, but I am going to move my deckhand mob as well as my Moringols over just to kind of screen that out so he ceases the charge there. I don't really have any heavy ranged component outside of the Queen Bess. That's my big damage dealer, and as you can see, it's doing a lot of work. And my opponent's starting to get really blobbed up trying to come around this terrain piece here, so I'm going to start advancing right now. And Queen Bess is just going to keep shooting and hit the tree. But he's going to start firing on Queen Bess, trying to deny it, but it's already out of half its ammo. So we charge in here. Siren's going to be getting into support. White Lions here. Normally would do very good work, but we're going to summon some crabs in the back line to try and get into all these archers. The Dragon Prince is coming in to support as well to clean these fellbats off. 1 unit going in after Allariel to keep her occupied. We send some deckhand mob over to try and catch up some of these Illyrian Reavers and Fireborn. Moringols hot in pursuit, chasing them down as well. Cylostra's just kind of hanging out. Opponent drops a really nice banishment, but here comes the Vangheist Revenge. We have the perfect opportunity right here. And oh my, here we go. And just deletes 4 different units and does tons of damage on this extra White Lion, and that routes almost his entire front line right there. 6 units all headed off running. Man, absolutely crazy. But for my opponent, his Fireborn do get into my backline, into my gunnery mob, so we're going to bring Cylostra back here to support. Not a very good engagement for her, but we need something to tie these guys down so that my Moringols and my pole arms can get back here. Meanwhile, the Bess just wrapping up what's left of its ammo, taking some pot shots into fleeing units. We're going to summon the Damned Knights Errant in and use them to start headed after some of these other routing units, the Dragon Princes, get the Sirens into them. Just try and push all of the units that are rallying back off the battlefield. So yeah, oh, I love this game so much, it's so fun. Sirens chasing after the Dragon Princes to do some magic attack. Very, very good. Deckhand mob moving into support. The Damn Knights Errant going after these White Lions, going to be doing some good work on them. Opponent drops a really nice banishment again, gets some good damage, but we move the Damn Knights Errant out of the way so they don't take too much off of that, and we're going to keep moving about there. In the back line, the Fireborn have finally gotten into the best, but she has barely no ammo left, and we are hot on their heels. They are taking some pretty substantial damage just from being bogged down, and Morngul's hot in pursuit. We put the deckhand mob, the gunnery mob, excuse me, into melee just to bog them down a little bit so that we can start getting our polearms after them. The best crew is going to hop back on and try and do what they can to get rid of the last of their ammo. But we are going to get another spell coming in here. The Vangheist Revenge yet again coming in hot and obliterating some of these Fireborn. So yeah, definitely with that spell, you want to put it a little bit back. This was my first game using it, but I have learned that now. So don't just put it right on them because the artillery shells shoot a bit over. But yeah, a really, really good match there. Vangheist Revenge is such an awesome spell. It's so much fun to use. You can see Cylostra getting 165 kills, and that was mostly on like White Lions, some of the Dragon Princes, taking out a very, very good chunk of the Archers and Lothern Sea Guard, pretty much winning me the frontline engagement, like, without contestment. Syrene's doing really well, taking out White Lions. The gunnery mob are just kind of there in case they bring air units or anything crazy like that to like harass, so we can just pot shot at them, do some damage, kind of keep them honest. Foulbat's there to support and bog things down, like tie up Allariel for the rest of the game basically. Morngul's did a great job chasing things down, kind of keeping the cab off our backs. And then the Queen Bess, 86 kills, pretty good, doing tons of damage to the White Lions and their skirmishers. Queen Bess does not do well against Dragon Princes, which I did not think about. First shot I took of the game was on a stationary Dragon Prince unit, and it barely did anything, didn't even take a model because they have very high physical and fire resistance. So keep that in mind if you're trying to consider what you're going to use against them. The Queen Bess is not it. But yeah, pretty good game. Vangheist Revenge doing an awesome job, and we will hop over into the next one, which is another Cylostra versus some High Elves. So as you can see here, this opponent's build, definitely expecting the skirmish heavy and artillery heavy kind of build that a lot of people have been bringing with Coast, which is exactly why I have not been bringing it. Trying something different here, going a little more like just bringing the Queen Bess to do some really good damage output on particular units that I want gone, like elite ones like White Lions, things like that. And then relying on my large amount of infantry to just bog things down, Cylostra to get her really powerful spell in to delete units, and then also my summons to tie things up, and Foulbats just to protect my lines. So definitely a little bit of a different build than he was expecting here, but we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, again, same build. I don't know how I feel about this whole 5 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers thing. Probably not the best idea, because if they don't go heavy on artillery or large, you're not going to be very safe, so to speak. Like, they'll do a lot of damage to chaff infantry because they have their like spread shot variation instead of the single shot one. But you're going to see here that as soon as like your opponent decides to advance because they realize what you have, like, how are you going to protect this? Like, you'd have to not bring archers and just bring spearmen or something to defend that, and it's tough. Okay, so for our formation, same concept, just fan out the infantry. We've got our Syrenes hidden in the woods over here, some deckhand mob with their pole arms. In the back we have Foulbat screening, but yeah, you can see he's taken some shots with his Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower already. It doesn't really do much of anything though. They're shooting out of the woods, so I haven't even taken out a model of that yet. But I do land a very nice shot right off the bat on some Silver Helms, and we're going to be coming in for a second on the White Lions. So you can see doing really nice damage there, taking out 5 of them. But yeah, this is what he's got going on so far. Just a line of archers and Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. I don't like what he did here with just going in the woods, because the archers are not going to be able to fire effectively, and neither is that artillery. because they're going to be trying to shoot through trees and all of that craziness. But I see what he's got going on there. I can't see any of the archers, but I see the artillery because it can't be hidden. So I'm just going to start advancing. He has silver helms to go after Queen Bess, but I'm not super worried about it because so far I've already burned through a substantial amount of ammo, and I just want to get up there and start shutting down that artillery. So we move up and just keep taking some shots with the Bess. And I landed one hit on a Eagle Claw bolt thrower over here. Did a decent amount of damage, but after I realized that wasn't very effective, I said, forget it. I'm not going to bother trying to do that. I'm just going to keep hitting these silver helms. You really need to be mobile if your opponent brings the Queen Bess. Like, try and watch what it fires at and just like plan the trajectory here, and then just start moving your unit. Because if you move and it fired while you were stationary, you should be able to avoid it. But yeah, it wasn't quick enough. Takes a whole lot of HP damage. Archers trying to fire out, but you can see a lot of the arrows just getting soaked into these trees. So not ideal. He does countercharge me with a lot of cavalry though that I was not expecting. I didn't realize he had this much in silver helms because they were hidden. But we're going to dive down with our fell bats to support the zombie mobs in trying to deal with these silver helms. And then over here on the right, he goes for a charge in, and I thought he was going to go around, so I went ahead and summoned in some rotting Prometheans. But he did not. He just went after the chaff infantry, trying to get some free kills on it. Starts trying to cycle through into my gunnery mob. So we're going to move some sirens into support to get into this. Fortunately for us, Cylostra has very, very high physical resist and armor. So you can see here, 10% physical resist with 150 armor is going to make her very, very hard to kill with like your standard archer variants. But here we go again. Vangheist Revenge. Oh man, shredding through the core of all of these. And he's going to take tons of damage, and a couple of them are going to rout out. But we are going to summon in the damn Knights Errant, and we are going to go straight in after this juicy, juicy archer blob. So as far as the infantry goes, we've wrapped it up for the most part, taken down all of his cavalry, and Cylostra over here barely taking any damage, popping our arcane conduit. We're just going to leave our rotting Prometheans here to deal with these white lions, and the sirens and the damn Knights Errant are going to push up. So Cylostra going to get in on Tyrion, going to start doing some great damage here on the charge, just beating him down. But yeah, back here, like I said, there's nothing to defend this. It's just a bunch of Eagle Claws, just all on their own. So Knights Errant are going to be going in here. We're summoning in some rotting Prometheans. The Siren's going to be chasing off all these archers. He doesn't have an answer to deal with it. Our infantry is going to start to gradually pull up and support. These silver helms are pretty much obliterated. Tyrion just doesn't have the time to try and 1v1 and tank down Cylostra because everything else in his army is essentially gone. So we're bringing our deckhand mob with pole arms up. They're very slow, so they've been kind of hanging out in the back this whole time, just gradually advancing. But once they get up here and start bogging down Tyrion, he's not going to have a chance. Silver Helm's routing out, White Lions on the flank, barely in the game. His archers do regroup out here, but we're going to get our fell bats straight in on it and start pulling our sirens in this direction, as well as the damn Knights Errant, and that's going to be it. Opponent's going to concede, GG. Yeah, you can see the concept for him was to just like obliterate all of my ranged and then just probably cycle charge through with Tyrion and the Silver Helms, maybe the White Lions to defend and just clean up the chaff. But that's not going to work if they don't bring like an all artillery and range spam build, which I would not recommend against the High Elves because the archers and Eagle Claws will ruin your day completely. Very, very good units. The archers very cheap, very high range, and the Eagle Claws will tear your artillery apart. But yeah, not a big fan of the build, but it was interesting, very entertaining. You can see Cylostra again, 150 kills, getting the awesome Vangheist Revenge shots. Just love that spell. But yeah, Bess seems really, really good. If your opponent isn't very on their toes, constantly moving their units around, you're going to get a ton of kills with it. And if not, then just use it to suppress them, advance, keep them out of position. It is very expensive, so you do want to get some of that money back and just like take out important units. But you don't want to focus just one. Every time you could see, like, I was targeting one, target another, target another, target another. Just keep switching down the line, going after targets of opportunity, because you want to damage all of them. You don't want to just try and nuke out one unit before you move on to the next one, because as it gets smaller, it's going to get harder to hit. It does work very similarly to like a mortar. So just keep taking large chunks off of every unit, and then you're going to be coming into like a half health army by the time you engage. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, folks. Feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If there's anything you'd like to see, feel free to ask. I am going to be playing some more coasts. Really enjoying Cylostra. Really enjoy this build, but it is time to try another one. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys next time.